It's a weird show week.
Yeah. I mean, one I think is a lot weirder as a concept than the other, but
Yeah, I think we
they're
both
both
described
quite
one of them as weird good, and the other as, well, I think you described it as weird depressing.
yeah, weird sad, I'd say. Also, how fun was that Halloween night back in 2023?
I was absolutely wild. I got up to so many hijinks and shenanigans.
Do you get trick-or-treaters?
Nope.
Yeah. We've not had one since we lived in this house. Mind you,
I don't think it's fashionable anymore, trick-or-treating.
yeah, I do wonder if it's maybe like, I feel like it's one of those things where it's like, you know, if you're taking kids trick-or-treating, you go around the houses of like people you know, which I think is kind of, it's probably fairer, isn't it? Because if you bang on little old Doris's door, she answers and there's you dressed as, I don't know, something spooky, and she has a heart attack and fucking hell. If you're dressed as the... No, hang on, I'm not going to say what I was going to say. But, yeah, it's kind of unfair, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah, trick-or-treating in a retirement home dressed as the Grim Reaper.
Funny, though. That'd be a good bit.
No, I don't know.
Because
That's the thing. I never really did trick-or-treating when I was young either.
No, I didn't, actually. We had people knocking our door, and that was it. But, like, we never actually went out and... I don't think I've ever done it. I've never gone out and actually trick-or-treated.
No, I've gone out with friends with like younger siblings and taken them out trick-or-treating, but
Yeah.
that's about it. And it was the age where you were just like, I think that person's a bit of a cunt, go knock on their door.
Because what's the... Like, I wonder what people say now. If they go, oh, I haven't got anything, give us a trick. What do you do? What do kids do? Is it just like you put the windows through? Or...
Yeah, but on a TikTok. Or just like, I'll come hunt you down on Roblox, you'll see.
Because you've got a film trauma to make content, which is part of what happens in one of these shows. But should we start with the other one?
Yeah. So should we start with Made for Love then? I'm assuming that's the one with... No. Wait, Made for Love.
Let's start with Severance.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm getting them confused in my head.
At what point, watching Severance, did you know what was going on? Did you know beforehand
I think
the
almost...
premise?
I think I knew the premise going in, that it was your work and personal lives have been surgically separated in your brain.
Yeah.
So I had a feeling when she woke up on the table, I was like, either we're about to get 24 hours earlier, or she's had the thing done and now she doesn't know who she is.
Yeah. Which actually turns out to be exactly what happened. So...
Yeah. Did you react to this differently than someone starting off with amnesia? When you know that there's a reason for it.
So that's the thing is, I think that it's only as you said that I realised that was what effectively happened. But it's because I knew that there is this separation between the two people. I was like, so that I guess I can forgive a bit easier because I did.
I think it's more than just a plot device to explain to you. Well, sort of is a plot device to explain to you what's going on.
It's not necessarily just a plot device though, because the whole series hangs on it.
It's the premise rather than just a plot device.
Yeah, so I get and knowing the reason why they can't remember something immediately, that means that it doesn't bother me quite so much. That it's not just someone wandering around going, "Excuse me, do you know who I am?" Oh fuck, I don't need to watch that anymore. But yeah,
someone very angry going, I don't remember anything about who I am and where I live, but I remember Delaware.
Oh Jesus Christ! Yeah, I struggled with the show, not because it was bad or anything, but it's extremely slick and it's very, very well made and it's a great idea. It's just so fucking depressing that this idea that you essentially have to be two different people in your personal and your work lives is fucking terrifying. Because I pretty much not like, and I think that's why I got the job I actually do, because I'm required to basically have a little bit of a personality on camera in my job. So I largely
show
feel
it in
like
your personal life, mate.
Huh?
Show it in your personal life sometimes.
No, that's where I can retreat and be horrible. But yeah, like I just the idea that like I've always been scared of having that office job that is just that mundane thing, and the only thing everyone talks about is what they're having for tea that night, and just that office.
But that's the thing; they won't even talk about that because they don't know.
No, exactly. So
other them's got plans.
Even have the basic muggle shit of like, oh, I had a slow cooked dinner for me. Oh, fuck off! I don't want to know.
What did you watch on telly last night? I don't even know if I've got a telly at home. But I think, weirdly, it's that I found quite intriguing in this, because it was like, it's interesting seeing how different their personalities are, when essentially the in-work personality is built from starting the job. And then you've also got Petey, who's outside, like, and has both bits of his memory and personality. He can remember work.
Well, I guess he's like completely, he's definitely escaped, isn't he? That's what's happened.
Yeah. And like that's the thing. I find that of like how, where does this go? Because it has to have that. Otherwise, like you're just seeing them function.
Yeah.
Like it has to have something that makes them step outside of it or learn in their personal life what the job is.
Yeah. Did you, just to sort of jump to the very end, did you guess that Mrs. Selvig was Mark's manager?
Not that she was the manager. I expected that she worked there.
Yeah, I did guess a little bit, like shortly before the reveal. I was like, hang on a minute, I bet Mrs. Selvig is there. And then it happened. So,
I think before the camera revealed it, I realised.
Yeah,
but I don't think I'd put that as an idea, because I thought it was just going to be like with the rest of the interaction, we are seeing like his family. You're just like, oh, okay, like it's whatever, and you're like, oh, he's got a pretty depressing outside of work life.
Yeah,
and it doesn't actually seem like his job's that more much better.
What do you think of the conversation at the dinner where there's no food? That's a sentence that really annoyed me.
Because it's them talking about like would you do it? And that's the thing. I mean, I don't think I would, because I think it would annoy me too much, not knowing. But the thing, I can see that there are jobs that it would be really useful for.
I guess, like, if I tell you what genuinely I would like, if it was a thing that you could actually do, the only job that I can, the only kind of job that I feel like it would be worthwhile having, and that's only because I know my own head, is like, obviously there's got to be a job where someone is checking the internet and making sure that like bad shit doesn't get out on it.
Oh yeah,
do you know what I mean? So that, I feel like, okay, it'd be quite useful just for that. But then at the same time, I think the more interesting piece on it is just the fact that, like, if you are essentially neglecting all the the negative connotations you have with work and all the bad stuff, you are effectively dumping on somebody else. But your share, yeah. But I guess the story is going to explore the effects of that, like, biologically. Because if you're dumping all that stress and all that worry on your body is still undergoing all those stresses. So then when you come out of the work thing, you'll still have like the long-term effects of stress, effectively.
Well, it's like when he first goes in, and they're just like, "Oh, you look a bit hungover," and he's like, "But I don't. That doesn't seem right." And he looks like visibly confused because it's just like because he won't remember
doing the drinking,
getting drunk, and he might not even like his in their self might just be like, "Oh no, this is how I always feel." Because that's the thing. I also quite like that even in universe, it's not like a done thing. It's like it's very niche procedure that like everyone understands and knows about, but it's weirdly like I don't know, like when it gets brought up at the dinner, they're just like, "That's his secret to tell you." Like, is this what? Because it's sort of I assumed that it was like quite a widely used thing in the universe, but I mean clearly not. Because I think it sounds like there's still people who are arguing that like it shouldn't be a thing.
Yeah, I guess it's like it's a relatively recent innovation. What then do you think? Because obviously, like there's some big conspiracy, there's some big plot behind it all. What do you think that is? Do you have any inklings as to what you think it might be?
I suspect that they're like because they're refining data for a big pharma company essentially.
Yeah,
I think so. I imagine that they're probably like I don't know, weaponizing viruses or something. Like military R&D or something.
Yeah,
wild like that.
I suppose there's almost a direct line. Oh, you don't know this. You haven't started watching it, I don't think. But there's almost a direct line you can draw between that and Fall of the House of Usher. So I'll tell you now, I'm not going to watch any more of this because it was just too bleak for me. Like I was like, I don't need to be exposed to any more sort of bullshit work office crap. Like I try and stay very clear of that in my day job, so I'm not going to watch
seek
anything
out in your leisure time.
Yeah, so I am intrigued, like because like it's like you said, like it's a good idea. The trouble with this story is that it can only be some sort of big conspiracy and there's something bad happening behind it. So that limits what it could possibly be. The reason for this big innovation. Like, so I don't know. Like, maybe I'm not crediting the show with having an exciting enough sort of idea about what it wants to talk about and what it wants to be, but
yeah, I mean, from what I saw, like around the finale of it when it came out originally, everyone was going mad for like the finale of Severance.
Well, I suppose it's probably what's probably gonna be is that someone realizes that they're someone of significance when they're like in the not work mode. Like someone's going to wake up and say, "Oh fuck, I'm the president" or whatever, and then be like, "Okay, so why am I doing this? Oh, it's so I can blow up a country or something." So, are you going to watch more of this?
I think so. I feel
it felt like something as I was watching. I was like, "I bet you quite like this."
Yeah, because I quite like I guess like an interesting plot that I don't know.
It's like near future sci-fi, isn't it? Like speculative
fiction.
fiction.
Very sort of Deus Ex Machina, that sort of where it's like a bit on the like because it's almost like the severed inside the office thing. It's almost AI.
Yeah,
like not quite, but
that was the thing. So I do wonder if like how this year particularly has like affected what they're going to do for a second series. If they are doing, they are doing a second series.
Oh, like almost definitely. Unless the ending of it is very much like it has been renewed for a second season.
And then they all died.
Yeah, but that's the thing because it seems like quite a big story. So a one season might not have been doable.
Yeah. I can't believe we've gone this far and not mentioned Black Mirror, but I think we've done quite well not to do that. However, let me tell you what does feel like Black Mirror.
Made for Love.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
This is fucking great. Made for
Yeah,
Love.
it is not at all what I expected.
No.
I mean, I have no idea what I expected, but I guess I was sort of expecting like a... Well, actually, I was sort of expecting it to be I've made an AI that you can fall in love with.
That's what I thought it was going to be as well. Like, because
then it turns out it's just a weird control freak who's made a thing.
There is a Black Mirror episode that basically has that premise, though, isn't there? There's with your man Gleason, Donald Gleason, isn't it? She orders, but it doesn't. In that slightly more sinister, in that he is a replica of her dead husband or something.
Yes, with his memories.
Yeah, so that's weirder, but
yeah. Don't get me wrong. This is pretty fucking weird.
I tell you what, it's quite funny as well. Like there are parts of this that's really funny. Like when she chops off Matey's fingers with the hatchet. That was great. Yeah. I really laughed at that. Yeah. So what's the place they live? It's not called the Cube. What's it called?
The Hub.
The Hub. That's it. So they're in the desert in the Hub, which is an artificial space that can look like anything. Like it resembles. It's effectively like a big cube that you can project any sort of location onto it. So, our character Hazel is married to a tech billionaire. Yeah,
yeah,
who has a dolphin in his pool, which I thought, that's
well, that's the thing. At the end of the episode, the dolphin's not there. When she jumps into the pool, the dolphin's not there. So where's the dolphin?
I did wonder that.
And also, how does she get from the pool to outside? I think there's a tube.
Yes, because the first thing you see is she opens up a hatch and she comes out,
and then
splashing out of the thing.
And then she sort of slips and it bonks her on the head. Which I was just sort of like, okay, so it's funny immediately.
It sets the tone, that bit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what this really reminded me of? I don't know if you've seen the recent The Invisible Man.
I haven't seen it, no.
Okay, it really reminded me of that because that film opens with Elizabeth Moss escaping from, weirdly, a very, very controlling tech wizard, and he's invented this suit that means he can be invisible. It was a remake of it was playing on the idea of the Universal monster thing, like the classic The Invisible Man, Claude Rains thing from like the 20s. And it's more about gaslighting and controlling and abusive relationships and toxic masculinity than just he's invisible, it's scary.
I can see the parallels.
Oh yeah,
because her husband is essentially that. Yeah, so he's tracking her.
He's developed this device which means that, what did they call it? Like a couple can share, like it's complete unionization or something. They can basically be aware of each other's feelings and thoughts all at the same time, which is fucking terrifying.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to share this brain with anyone.
That's all right. You wouldn't find anyone who want to share it anyway. So. Moot point, really.
Seems reasonable. Such is my life.
But yeah, so Hazel escapes from him eventually after the launch of this new product, which is
I think he sort of surprisingly announces that they're going to be
the first pair.
Users one.
Yeah.
And after him being like, "You're lying to me," and I'm pretty sure that's because she's just like, "Yes, your orgasm you gave me today, aces, loved it." I'm still in such a good mood. And that was... a lot of this stuff is creepy, but that, in my head, is the creepiest thing in the whole thing. Like, he's got someone else turning up to, check her reviews. Like, the review thing, it is very Black Mirror. And I think it bundles almost a load of different Black Mirror episodes into one. Because you've got, the almost social media side of rating.
Yeah.
And then just the fucking batshit world that she seems to live in.
Where Ray Romano is her dad and fucks a love doll.
Yeah. But then that means there's an interesting point, because in the 10 years she's been sort of secluded away in that, maybe more than 10 years, like either her mum's left or died, or I mean, he doesn't have a plane anymore, so but he has a sex doll, so yeah. And like the whole fleeing and like her getting in the van with the radio DJ who's just like, you're not gonna say anything. He just starts doing his radio and she's just like, basically just go, are you the cunt from the radio?
I really liked that guy. El Perro, he was called.
Yeah.
El Perro. That was really good. I hugely enjoyed this. Like, it's nice that it's got a sense of humour about it as well. Like, yeah, it's like he's a horrific person and it's quite a terrifying story, but she's really funny. She's
the wife in How I Met Your Mother. Yeah.
The one who dies.
Yeah, I mean, spoilers for How I Met Your Mother that ended, what, a decade ago?
Yeah. It ended, oh God, it ended in, yeah, it was a decade ago, wasn't it? Because we were still at uni.
Yeah. But yeah, so much of this is just like horrifying. But yeah, no, it is also funny and nice. Well, all of her side is funny and nice. All of his side is just like creepy as shit.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed where she was sort of running down the road with and just setting off car alarm. I think she was the one setting off the car alarms, not the trackers.
Oh, I thought it was basically he was demonstrating that he was following her. Like, and it was
no,
like him going,
I think the
know
thing in
where
her
you
head's
are.
fucked, and it's setting off car alarms and interfering with other electronics.
Oh, I suppose it does go a bit crazy, doesn't it? She like keeps going off in her ear as well.
Yeah, and then when the sort of the guy comes out of the house and he's just like, hey, are you? And then he's still translating back, but it almost feels like he's on her side.
Yeah, oh, he
just
totally is. It's so funny, that bit. It's great.
But he's still like delivering his messages to her, but then it like just the joy in his face was just like, fuck you. I think that's probably my favourite like scene from the whole episode, I think. I don't know, the sex doll thing was pretty funny.
That was very funny. Sex dolls are always funny.
Yeah. He's just sort of there like, so you're home, and then she just faints. But I think, yeah.
Well, how else would you respond to seeing your dad shagging a sex doll? Oh God, need to just pass out now so I don't have to keep looking at this.
I think it would either be that or leaving the room. Or, you know, telling them that I'm coming to Scotland, I guess, would be a good start.
Surprise. Yeah, I can't remember how I watched this. I think it was on Prime. Was it Prime Video? And I bought it, but I definitely want to look into how I can like continue watching it, because it was really, really fun. I do worry, like I do hope it keeps up the momentum of it and doesn't just sort of fizzle out into, you know.
The thing that I'm a little bit like, the only thing that concerns me in that regard is that so far there are 2 seasons. Although it doesn't look like there's a 3rd season, because there hasn't been one this year.
When did it? Has it been affected by the strike?
I don't know.
All,
apparently, it was removed from HBO Max in December 22. So.
Oh, that's weird.
But that's the thing. If it means there might be, that means there might be a definite end.
Oh, yeah, that might. It was announced the series released on the Roku channel. Nope. Last release May 19th, 2022. Okay.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like an actual end to something is not something that I hate the most. So.
Nah. I hope it does. But yeah, I really enjoyed this.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna. I think I'll probably watch this before Severance.
Oh, yeah, well, I mean, I'm not going to watch Severance, but yes, I think this would be the easier watch. Also, half-hour episodes. That's always a good thing.
Half hour, and the possibility of that only being 16 ever. Like that's
You can
that's
do it in a
almost
day.
limited series. Yeah, yeah, definitely. But I might wait for a break in our breakneck schedule of recording to try and watch a whole series or something.
Yeah, and again, just in case for some of you don't know, we are trying to record as much as we possibly can because there is a baby about to appear on the scene. So, congratulations, Rich.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll take a baby.
Yeah, definitely want to watch more Made for Love. Don't want to watch any more Severance. Thank you very much at this point in my life.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe one day you'll just be like, yes,
when I'm
I would
retired.
like to.
I remember this.
It's like, you know, there are always those like films and shows that you're like, you have to be in a good place to start with.
Oh yeah, that's why I've not watched Schindler's List. I was like, I just don't need to watch any Holocaust stuff for quite some time.
Yeah, it's just all the things where you need to be in a good place to start with. Otherwise, you probably shouldn't watch them. But then my radar for that's all broken because Trainspotting's a comfort film. So
yeah, but you say that it does make sense because, I mean, for all the heroin, sometimes those characters are like quite likable. Apart from fucking Begbie, who's just a psychopath.
Yeah, but he's got a new series coming at some point, and that should be good. But yeah, so what's next?
Well, it's an intriguing one. Next, we'll explain.
It's another weird one, isn't it?
We'll explain why it's particularly strange that we've picked one of these shows on the episode. But we're going to be doing The Hunger, which is a TV show. I think it's related to the Bowie film that came out like in the 80s, I think, or 70s.
I think it was, yeah.
And we're pairing that with Fear itself, which I knew nothing about until I watched it. So that's exciting. Yeah, a couple of odd ones, but it should be a good one because there's a lot to talk about with those particular ones.
Yeah, I think odd shows is the theme of the year.
Looking at the list, yeah, I'd say.
I think there are some safe bets in there. Like we got a nice UK versus US, which are getting thin on the ground. They are hard to find.
Well, we've done quite a few of them. We got a new Mike Flanagan, obviously. We didn't do a Did we do a Mike Flanagan? We did do a Mike Flanagan last year, didn't we? Did we do the Midnight Club? Did we?
We've done the
must
Midnight
have
Club. I think it was the year before last.
Was it? Oh no, it was last year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we watched that.
And it was Midnight Mass before that, wasn't it? Which is obviously the best thing ever. So yeah, a couple of really odd ones next, but spooky, which is quite fitting with
quite fitting for the recording date, not so fitting for the release date. But no, we're recording them all on the day that they're released.
Sure. Happy Halloween.